Okay, so I'm going to put together a series of videos to help people get along with working with focus and with working with some of the tasks that we're going to need to take your agility further. The first video that we're going to do today is I'm going to do one with Apollo, and we're going to look at targeting. This is important for when we come to contact work. So for targeting, you need a disc. So I've got two types of disc here that you can use. The first type is a lid off a food packet, Pringles lid, dog food tub lid, anything like that around this size is a good size. Or one of these, which is a lid that you use to seal an open tin can. Okay, and this is for a small one. Either or, it doesn't really matter, whatever you've got to hand, as long as you've got something that is your target point. Then let's talk about treats quickly. I've got small cut up bits of sausage, dried sausage. These are important to use small treats like this because you want a small reward that the dog's going to be able to eat reasonably quickly and not spend a long time crunching or chewing or snuffling around for bits. So you don't really want a crumbly toy for this, a crumbly piece of food for this exercise. The other type you can use are these sorts of types. I use these a lot, which are soft treats that you can tear up into smaller pieces, which again are good to be used. Yeah. The other thing that you're going to need is a clicker, and we're going to use that to mark our reward. For those of you who haven't done much clicker training or would like more information on clicker training, I would speak to Carrie or myself at training, and we can give you some pointers, and if there's a big enough call for it, I'm sure we can do a video for you to talk about clicker training. So I'm going to use Apollo because she's not really done this training before, and it'll be good to show you how we can train her to target. So the first thing we need to do is introduce her to the disc. I'm going to use this blue one, no particular reason apart from the fact that it's probably going to be easier for you to see on the camera. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it down on the floor. Now Apollo's touched it, so I'm going to mark that and give her a reward. So we're going to wait and see if she looks at it again. So she's touched it, and I'm going to give her a reward. Okay, this is quite important that we wait for the dog to show us the behaviour, and at the moment all I wanted to do is touch the disc, and I'm going to reward her for doing that. Okay, now depending on what your dog's like will depend on how quickly they pick this up. Okay, we're not using any words, and I'm not asking her to do anything, I'm just letting her do it herself. Okay, I'm watching for her to make a move towards the disc, and then I'm rewarding that behaviour. So now, as she is getting quite good at touching the disc, I'm going to wait for a more definite touch now. So we'll just wait and see. We don't want to paw, we want her nose to touch. Go. Good girl. Okay, it's really important that when you mark it well with the click and then treat. Good girl. Okay. So Apollo's being a little bit lazy and she's lying down at the moment doing this. Good girl. Okay. So I'm going to take that away a minute. Good girl. Okay. Yeah, good girl. We're just going to reward her. And we're going to give her a little break from the activity we were just doing. It's important that when you train them, even though they may be doing really well at something, that you train them for a short period of time and then you give them a little break. Either have a play with them or do something else so that they can then process what you've just taught them to do. Yeah, good girl. Okay, so what I might do is we'll do some little bits of training here, Paul. Good girl. Other paw. Other. Good girl. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to put the disc back and I'm going to see how she responds. Yeah, good girl. Good. So let's see if she remembers what we've just taught her to do. So I'm going to put this back down on the floor. Good girl. straight away she's looking. Good girl. And we're just going to do this a few times. Don't want pause. Remember, it's important to reward the correct behaviour. I don't want her to touch that disc with her paw, I want her to nose touch, which is what she's doing, and I wouldn't reward any other type. Good girl. Okay. Yeah, good girl. Okay, so that's the first lesson. Normally for a dog to learn something, it might take, 10 repetitions to do it. It may take 30 repetitions to do it. A lot of it depends on what type of dog you've got and what breed of dog it is and how quickly it learns. Apollo is only one, so she's going to learn quickly still at this age because she's still a youngster, whereas it might take an older dog slightly longer. So don't be disheartened, keep trying, and what I want you all to do is practice at getting a really firm nose touch on that disc when you place the disc on the floor. In the next lesson we're going to look at just confirming that and then moving the disc around so that we can get them to come and touch the disc. Once that happens, we will then begin to introduce a word, but we're not going to introduce any word whatsoever until the dog is touching that disc really well. So part 2, we're going to look at moving the disc around. Okay, any questions, just get in touch or speak to us at class and we can answer those for you. Okay.